Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Coming live from the Arctic. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, I don't want to talk about the weather. Let's just not talk about the weather. Let's talk about how I get to escape this weather in less than a month. How about that? Trying to find this live, you guys. Talk to me in the comments as I keep refreshing to see where I'm at here. Oh, there we are. I found it. All right. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go back. Oh, technology. Sharing the. Okay. I want to share this into my group. And for some reason, it is just not wanting it to be. Hello, Callie. All right. I'm missing the comments because I'm staring at a screen. You guys, I'm trying to do some techie things here. There we go. And let me press the right button. Oh, there. Whew. That was difficult. Hello, everybody. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know you're with me today. It's a balmy day. And it's one of those days where I needed a hot cup of something because it's so stinking cold outside. And it's going to get worse. Send me to the beach. All right, we got people live. Hello, Jen. Hello, Callie. She's on the YouTube. All right, everybody. Okay, it is Talk About It Tuesday. And where I get to answer the questions that you guys have been having and wondering about. If you forgot to put your Talk About It Tuesday question in the comments of that one post, you can, if you see the red button and you see, I think it's over here, maybe. I don't know which side it's on, but if you see me live, and I might be able to catch your question live. I am so ready for spring and summer too. I'm with you. I am with you. Here's a little funny story. It's funny now that I think back on it. There was a winter when the kids were super young that we had the Arctic blast. I forget. They had a name for it that we were experiencing up here. And that was the winter that our furnace decided to shut off in the middle of winter. And I remember my husband was working nights. And we have in our bedroom one of those fireplaces that just turns on when it gets so cold. And my fireplace had been on, so I didn't notice anything. Craig comes home from work and our house was like it was in the 50s, I believe. And I had no idea because the fireplace was roaring in my bedroom and Craig comes rushing in in the bedroom and he's like, the furnace is shut off. I'm like, oh my gosh. The kids are all bundled up in their blankets. I'm like, I felt so terrible, but I was clueless because the fireplace automatically turns on in my bedroom. So, anyways, and we were fine. We got our furnace fixed. It was all good. But oh my goodness gracious, it's amazing how cold your house can get if your furnace shuts off in weather like this, right? So, I'm praying everybody stays safe in the next couple days. It is just so incredibly cold up here. So okay, guys, here we go. I'm going to jump right into your question. Sorry if I missed your comment. If you're commenting and I don't see it, sometimes that happens. But if you have a question about Park Lane Jewelry, my business, anything about the jewelry, pop it in the comments. I hopefully will be able to see it before we get off the live here. But let me go straight to, we have 7 questions. That is awesome. Okay. Let me take a sip of my hot chai tea. Okay, here we go. Okay, Cindy wants to know, now that we've had time to play around with the brand new collection, what's my absolute favorite piece? You're asking me to pick favorites already? Oh my goodness. Honest, can I go per item? My favorite ring by far is the Sublime ring. And yeah, I'm in love with this Sublime ring. And it includes those two, right? It's 7 rings. So I'm in love with this one out of the Meadow Muse collection that they just came out with, because all of the options you have with this one ring stack are insane. Pairing it with items that we already have in our collection, pairing it with new, or just wearing them on its own. And this one is designer inspired. And I was just listening to somebody who like goes through all the designers and and everything. And she was talking about like that, just that single bamboo ring goes for an insane amount underneath a fashion house. It's just crazy. But it's, if it was rings, my favorite is the Sublime, just because we have like so many possibilities. That's a whole live in itself. So, and the which I will do, because yes, I will do. We will do a live on styling on how all the different looks that you can get with that Sublime ring. Okay. Um, and I okay, I'm reading somebody's comment here. I'm guessing the 3 hoop ones for the earrings. Yeah, you're correct. I do love these tempo earrings. They are an all-time fave. I already told you guys these are going to be my go-to drop earrings. These are going to be worn with my hoodies. These are going to be worn with a baseball hat. These are going to be worn dressed up and dressed down all the time. I do love the tempo earrings. And plus they're so incredibly lightweight. You just forget that they're in your ears. As necklaces go, that's a tough one. I do love the dainty necklaces that they came out with. I can't choose. The Ambrosia one's so pretty with the butterfly barrel. Um, Here, sorry, I'm trying to do this. Okay, this is the Ambrosia, you guys. Has that butterfly barrel. Oh, you're looking at it upside down. I had it on backwards. Stop moving. There we go. The ambrosia necklace, that's so fun. Love the daintiness. I love the color of the orchid. You'll see me wearing a ton of these all the time. And then, of course, the Evie, because that's a beautiful silver with a teeny tiny hint of gold in it, right? Yeah, I'm not playing fair because I'm definitely picking more than one item. This is what you get for asking me what my favorite is out of this new collection. And then I'm just gonna say the Zoe bracelets. Okay, I have 3 next to my watch, and then there's more on here. I love the Zoe. Okay, moving on to the next question. All right, thanks for the compliment. Okay, Jan says, congrats on being in the top 25 in sales. Next stop is the top 20. I know I was 21 in sales, top 21 in sales. And anyways, what's the total volume of sales the number one person had? That is a great question. And we don't really know, but I will say this. What I do know is the number one person who came in our top recognition for our convention period. I say that because it was really only like 12 weeks, October, no, 8 weeks. It was basically November through December was our convention recognition period. And the number one person, I think she sold, brace yourself. In November alone, I think she sold like $80,000. Did your mouth just drop? I mean, mine did when I heard that number, right? I don't know how she did it, but how insane is that in 1 month, you guys? 1 month. Some people don't hit that much in a year. So I don't know what the actual volume in sales was. Linda wants to know, on an average, how many stylists earn earn and go on the trips? Ooh, that's 2 different questions. Because people can we earn 2 trips here with Park Lane Jewelry. 2 trips. Historically, lately, they've been going back to one trip during the year is going to be tropical, and the other trip during the year might be a European trip. So last year we got to go to St. Thomas in the summertime. It was March. It was right over my birthday. And then in the fall, we went to Zurich. Actually, they moved it up to August. So we went to Zurich, Switzerland. Okay, that was last year. This year, 2026, I earned a trip to Cancun, which we're going to leave in less than a month. I am counting on the hours, especially with this weather. And then in the fall, we're going to go to, we earned a trip to Amsterdam. So I know I am so excited. And people can earn the trip, and if they can't go for some reason or they're not interested in the destination, they can always cash out. So that's why I said it's kind of twofold questions you're answering there, or asking. I don't really know how many people actually earn the trip, but when we go on these trips, there's at least like 150 to 200 stylists, I feel like. But every trip is different from the next. They did say they had, when they announced Amsterdam winners during our convention, they did say it was like the record amount of people that have ever earned a trip. So, and Park Lane likes to make it so everybody's able to earn it. Okay, not just the top earners in the company. Everybody can earn these trips that they present to us. So exciting. Amy wants to know if I'm given the opportunity to design a mini capsule collection for Park Lane, would I want to? Or are you happy staying on the sales and marketing side? I'm happy staying on the sales and marketing side. I think it would be fun to design pieces. However, I don't want to mess with that because Park Lane is so good at what they're doing when they come to the designs of all of our jewelry. And they're so fashion forward that it's interesting to me how they'll launch a brand new line. And then all of a sudden, I will see that same style showing up in other companies, in other places. I'll be like, oh my gosh, we have that, except it's better, right? And it's so incredible. They have their fingers on the pulse of the fashion and the styling that I don't think I'd want to mess with that. I'd want them to keep on doing what they're doing because it's working. And I get an inside glance to all of it since I have a kind of a special position with Park Lane where they send me all the jewelry early. I'm one of 3 stylists. I get to do that. And then I style it, I take pictures, I do reels for them. And so I get to see it beforehand. And it's always just so amazing to me, like how they always outdo themselves. So I just want to stay on the sales and the marketing side of it all. I don't think I'd want to be a part of the design. Maybe once in a while I could suggest a few things, but then again, that's just I don't have my fingers on the pulse of what's happening in the fashion industry the way they do. So I definitely would want them to keep on doing that. I'll just stick on my side. All right. Raina wants to know, could I please show the hazy pieces next to the silver hazy pieces? In some pictures, there's not a huge difference. She wants to see them, necklace and bracelet in particular, together. Okay, I did take a peek at those pictures, so I could show you guys. So the hazy necklace in hematite. So this is the hazy and hematite. That beautiful black gunmetal that's like that nugget design. And now we have, this is our newest edition. Here it is in silver. I should actually, well, hang on. Let me make them just a little bit different in length, so they hang a little bit lower. As you call or as you see me live, talk to me in the comments. Let me know you're with me. I'll do my best to respond. I don't get to respond to everybody, but I will do my best. I'm going to layer all 3 of these hazy necklaces right on this necklace neck form. So all right, thanks for hopping on, guys. Okay, so our hazy is one of our um staple pieces, really. So we have hematite, we have silver, and we have gold. So I hope this helps her question. She was wondering the difference between these 2 in particular, and there is a big difference if you see. And when you get this one out in the light, it's going to show even more the difference in the color. It's funny that you asked that because this one, when we just had the silver, some people were like, it's almost like it's hematite. And I think that's just because of the shadows and the beads and such, catch some of those darker tones. But yeah, so I know they do look really great together. What a great mixed metals look, right? Your silver, your gold, and your hematite. I think it's fantastic. If I was to wear them together, I would swap this. I would make sure the silver or the hematite and the gold are together. I don't know. That's just me. I'm weird like that. Okay, let me show you the bracelets. The hazy bracelets all stacked next to each other. We have the hematite one and the gold one and the silver. So there's the three colors in the hazy bracelets. When you see them in person, you definitely will see the contrast in the colors. Okay. All right. Great question. All right. Let me see. What else do we got here for questions? Okay, Jessica wants to know what's the top selling pieces from, she used pieces, more than one. Thank you. In the new collection. Yeah, because there's been a couple really hot sellers so far. I should actually ask, Scott, our CEO of the company, if he can tell me what's the top selling piece so far. This one by far, this is the Aspen necklace that I have on, and it's a three-piece necklace, so it's completely detachable. And honestly, when I was like looking at this is a tunic sweater. Listen, it is freezing. I've got fleece line leggings on and a big warm tunic sweater today. But I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, I could wear just this bottom piece if I wanted to. And honestly, that's what I would prefer for a tunic. However, since I was hopping on a live and you're seeing me on a screen, I definitely wanted to make sure I was wearing the top piece, because you can see this better rather than like if I didn't, you'd be like, what's going on? What's going on? I can't see that. You wouldn't be able to see all of this, right? Unless, I don't know, on the YouTube, I guess there's a orientation where you see a little bit more of my torso. But yeah, this was one of the top sellers. The Zoe bracelet was definitely one of the toppers. Now remember, I'm wearing part of Zoe. Okay. The Zoe is one of the top sellers, and somebody likes it. Oh yeah, likes the chunky short. I know, it's so great. And then Orchid is one of, everybody was taking this one at half off with a lot of their orders. So that one definitely is also one of the good ones. And then Hazy. Hazy and Serena in silver definitely are some of the toppers. The Hazy bracelet, the hazy or the Serena bracelet. This is the Serena, you guys. I'm going to show it just in case because we get new people watching all the time. This is the Serena bracelet in silver. Now we have a whole family. This is how I'm going to refer to our pieces like this. The hazy family. And now we have a complete Serena family, meaning Serena comes in all of the metal tones now: silver, rose gold, hematite, and gold. So excited to have all four colors in our Serena bracelet. So yeah, definitely the Serena in silver was a highly requested item. So, and then the ivy in white, that was another one too. Um yeah, the simplicity of this beautiful ivy bracelet, it was definitely one of the toppers. Okay. All right. Let me look. Was that the last question? No, it was not the last question. If you are live with me and you have a question for me, pop it in the comments. And I'll do my best to answer it live, if I catch it before we get off here. Okay, I got one more question, so you got a little bit of time to type it. How long does it take for you to put the reels together for convention? Do you need to go somewhere to record them? That's a great question. So yes, so one of the things that I do for the company, for our online conventions that we have actually twice a year when we launch a brand new line, is that I create a lot of reels for them to use during the convention, but then also for all of our social medias afterwards and all of that. And the perks to the reels, you guys, and I think if you follow me or if you've seen my reels, you probably understand, like, it's one thing to see a picture. It's another thing to see it on a model when you're looking at our website, but it's another to get it right up in front of the camera where you get to really see the details in the jewelry, right? That is a perk to those reels. Give me a heart in the comment section if you've ever been curious about a piece and then I do a reel with it and I show it to you right up in the camera and you're like, sold. Put a heart in the comments and let me know if they've ever been beneficial, or maybe I styled it in a certain way in a reel and you're like, yep, I have to have it now because of the way she styled it. But yeah, so the reels. Typically, a reel can take me maybe 5 minutes or less. Typically, okay. It all depends. My daughter's like nodding over there. She's like, yeah, sometimes it's really short. And the nice thing is that people can be like in the same room with me because the reels don't pick up any sound. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to like shoo anybody out the room when I'm doing them, when I'm making them here in my house. Um, Typically, however, the one big reel that I do with all of the Metal Muse pieces, all of them. I think in that big reel that I made, it ended up being like 40 some seconds long. I was missing two pieces from it or one piece from it because it didn't come in yet when I was making that reel. So I just had to do it without it. But that reel took me about an hour to an hour and a half to make. And the reason why, if you know what reel I'm talking about, I changed my outfit like 50,000 times. So the actually recording part when I'm styling the jewelry takes me probably like 20 seconds. And then I run over to the other side of the room, change my clothes quick, and then I run back with the new jewelry that I'm showing. And then I do that little video. It takes me like 10 seconds or less. Run and change. So the running and changing is what adds to the time on that reel in particular. But I find that reel, even though it takes me so long to do, it is one of the most beneficial reels that I take the time to do because I can use it in so many parties. So when you host a party with me, I definitely will be showing that reel to you and your customers and your people that are interested in Park Lane because it's a great way to show you the jewelry, not just like send pictures and such. Oh, I love all the hearts, guys. Thank you. And then, but the other ones take me kind of a short amount of time. Now, do I go somewhere to record them for convention? Yeah, I typically rent a studio space to do all of the pictures as well as the reels. The studio space is in my little town here, and I love the photographer that I rent it from and all the things. She's just so fun to and easy to work with. I've known her since I was pregnant with my first kid. So like over 14 years. And she's absolutely wonderful. But fun fact, you guys, I want to tell you right now, in our house, we have a formal dining room space. Formal dining room space was formal dining room when we first bought the house. Then we had kids. So then it changed into the playroom. And then the kids, and then COVID hit. And then it changed into the classroom where we had desks and stuff for the kids to do their work in. And now it's like the 3D print throw all room has a piano in it. Like winter stuff is all over the floor in it. It's just a mess. And I told my husband the other day, I'm like, okay, this is the year that we need to make a mini studio and my office in that formal dining room. So that is the goal, my friends, is to create just a little corner of that large formal dining room space into like a mini studio so I don't have to rent that beautiful studio anymore. And I can do everything inside my house, which means I wouldn't have to go outside and take pictures of the jewelry in negative, what was it yesterday, 12? Negative, oh, it felt like negative 24 yesterday, and I was outside taking pictures. Pretending it was warm. So that is the goal. That's one of my business goals this year. So you can check in on me to see how the progress is going on actually moving my office over there. It'll be so wonderful when it is done. But anywho's, you guys, this is Talk About It Tuesday. I answered all the questions that you guys put in the comments of that one post and all about the business. I want to toss out one extra thing that nobody asked about. And it is this right now with Park Lane Jewelry. If you lean in and say yes to this amazing opportunity and just test driving this business, you get to pick out an extra $200 in your jewelry kit when you say yes. And that does have an expiration date of the last Wednesday of January. Um, but yeah, you would be able to get a kit of jewelry not worth $500 that you pick out, but worth $700 in jewelry that you get to pick out when you lean in and say, yeah, sure. Okay. I want to give it a go. I want to test drive it out, see what happens. And on top of that $700 in jewelry that you get to pick out, you also get the benefits of all of our hostess program where you get all the free jewelry. You get to introduce Park Lane to all your customers or your friends and your family and all the things through, and I'm doing the work, you guys. And so you get the hostess benefits, the free, the discounted, all the things that come with that. And then the other third thing you get if you lean in and test drive this out and try it out, and just to see where it can go, you'll also get the paycheck off of that first party that I do for you, but it's in your name. So isn't that fantastic? So if you wanted to test drive, lean in, try this out, see what happens. I mean, you never know unless you test drive it, right? And you can do this business however you want to. That's the thing. If you just want it so you can have your own website, you can show it to your friends whenever you want to. Shop and earn your own discount on your own jewelry, get your paycheck on your own jewelry. Sure, no problem. You can definitely do that. Or you can do parties like me, and get a customer base and all that stuff. You don't have to be full time like I am, but you can just double your toes into some Park Lane jewelry, earn income and beautiful jewelry all at the same time. So if that appeals to you, let's chat. Because this $700 in the kit will not last long. It's not going to last long at all. It ends at the end of January. So at last Wednesday in January. All right, friends, that's it. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Stay warm out there, and I'll be right back here tomorrow, a little bit earlier, maybe around the noon hour. For should we style those sublime rings tomorrow? I think so. I think we should do a ring stack tomorrow. Let's play with some rings tomorrow. That's the plan. All right. See you later, friends.